teasing on our show and any show is important. A radio station, if you listen to it, it's all about what's coming up next. And I think the best shows, they don't spend a lot of time recapping. They don't spend a lot of time talking about what they just did. I used to listen to the Jim Rome show a lot. And Jim Rome is, maybe the biggest sports talk radio host in the world, but it would always annoy me. I would listen to him do an interview, and it was a great interview. And then he would spend the next segment talking about the interview he just did. And number one, it's, all right, move on. Stop patting yourself on the back. Number two, half of your audience didn't hear that interview you just did. I never really understood why, and far be it for me to tell Jim Rome how to do his job. I never really understood why we spend that much time looking back. It's always about what's next, what's ahead, what's coming up next. And our show, I have text, our show kind of embraces that philosophy. But my job is to keep you here. My job is to tell you what's coming up next because I want you to be here. I want you to sit through the show. I want you to sit through the commercials. I want you to hang through. I might be talking about the Reds right now. You might want to hear me talk about the Bengals. I want to make sure hey, I'm going to talk about the Bengals in 5 minutes, but first I got to talk about the Reds. And if I do that in an effective way, it's going to keep you here. Our show is all about, and any show is all about, making you listen for the longest amount of time as possible. And also understanding you have other options. And so I don't want you to go away when we go to commercial. I don't want you to go away when I do something that you maybe don't want me to do. I want you to stick around. And so teasing is a way to get people to stay. It also, for me, is I type them out before the show begins, and there's flexibility. Oftentimes you're going to have to deviate from script if something isn't working or if something is, breaking during your show. But the teases usually give me a jumping off point at which I can use to get into a topic. I don't need to write out everything I'm going to say. I don't need to write out bullet points all the time necessarily. Sometimes I'll know what I'm going to say when reading the tease because I've already sort of thought about what my arguments are going to be, what my topics are going to be. And the teases do serve that purpose in steering me toward the direction that I want to go in.